Okay, good day everyone and welcome to our science class. Okay, so before we start with our lesson for today, I would like you to prepare the following things which are needed for our lessons. Okay, one is your ball pen, next is your worksheets, and of course, your Science 4 module. Okay, so while preparing this, so let us sing the science song. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so let us sing the song or the science song with the tune or using the tune of Jingle Bells. Science is ready, lessons are all you have to do. Listen to your teacher to learn something. Hey, science, oh, science, be what science, oh, I'll one or two, and science is ready. Lessons are all new. All you have to do, listen to your teacher, learn something. Hey, science time, science time. Oh, it's science time. With me, it's more fun, more activities. Hey, science time, science time. Oh, it's science time. I like it, I love it, I love my teacher too. Okay, so do you know the meaning of this saying? No man is an island. So what do you think is the meaning of this? Okay, so the meaning of this is that no individual or single individual can live without the other organisms. Or ibig sabihin, wala pong isang tao, hayop or hayop man na nabubuhay ng nag-iisa. So ibig sabihin, we need each other in order to survive. Okay? So yan ang ibig sabihin ng no man is an island. Okay. So today is, or our lesson is all about the interactions among living things in their environment. Okay. So nasa week 7 na tayo. So when we say interactions, okay, pakikipag-ugnayan. So what do you think is the reason why living things need to interact or to build relationship among other organisms in the environment or what we call ecosystem. So aalamin natin yan. What are the different relationship that exist in the ecosystem or in our environment? Okay? So sabi dito, living things interact in the environment based on their functions and roles. In the previous lesson, you learned about how organisms relate to one another and how abiotic components. So when you say abiotic or abiotic components, they are the non-living things or the non-living components of the ecosystem. Control these relationships. So in this lesson, you will be described some types of beneficial and harmful interactions among living things. So interactions among organisms may be either harmful or beneficial depending on the effect to one another. So when we say beneficial effects, so kapakipakinabang, magandang naidulot. So when we say harmful, so masamang naidudulot. So tandaan natin na in every relationship, mayroong magandang epekto sa bawat organism at mayroon din naman na mga hindi maganda or tinatawag nating harmful effect sa isang organism. Okay. So interactions from one organism to another organism may bring either good or bad effect. Yun nga sinasabi ko kanina na in every relationship or interaction between organisms in the ecosystem, mayroong good effect, mayroon namang bad effect. Okay, there are interactions that both organisms benefit. Okay, meron daw relationship or interactions between organisms na parehong organisms ang nakikinabang sa interactions na yon or sa relationship na yon. Meaning, they help each other to live. Ibig sabihin, nagtutulungan silang dalawa para makasurvive or mabuhay. There are also forms of interaction that only one organism is benefiting while the others neither get beneficial nor harmful effects. Okay. So, meron naman daw interaction or relationship in our ecosystem na ang isang organism ay nakikinabang samantalang minsan may mga organisms na nakaharm or badly affected in the relationship. Meron namang yung isa nakikinabang, yung isa wala lang pakialam. Hindi siya nakikinabang, hindi rin siya nakaharm. Okay. So, let us know the different relationship that exist or relationships that exist in the ecosystem. Okay, one is the mutualism. Okay, so what is mutualism? So it is an interaction of two organisms wherein both are getting benefit or benefited from each other. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung dalawang organisms, pag sinabi nating mutualism relationship, parehong organisms ang nakikinabang. The best example is plant and animals in general. Okay, plants give off oxygen which is needed by animals. Di ba kailangan natin ng oxygen? Okay, so saan tayo nanggagaling? Sa plants. While animals, including human, exhale carbon dioxide needed by plants. In return, so tayo, together with animals, we exhale carbon dioxide. We provide carbon dioxide for plants. Plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So when we say photosynthesis nga, di ba, it is the process of plants in making their own food. So without carbon dioxide, plants cannot manufacture their own food. So napakagandang example ng mutualism is the relationship between plants and animals. Of course, kasama yung human. Okay? So it is a give and take relationship. So parang halimbawa, nasa kwarto kayo ng iyong kaklase, recess time, meron kang dalawang soft drinks, meron din siyang sandwich. So binigay niya sa iyo ang isang sandwich, binigyan mo siya ng soft drinks. So that is a mutualism relationship, a give and take relationship. Okay. So look at these pictures. So these pictures show us an example of a mutualism relationship. So for example, bee and flower. Okay, how does bee help the flower and how does the flower help the bee? Okay, so bees help the flower in terms of pollination. Okay, so pag andyan yung bees sa flower, kung makikita natin kung andito yung bees sa flower, so, hindi yan napapansin ng bees na yung mga pollen grains ng flower ay nagsistick o dumidikit sa kanyang katawan. So, pag nag-transfer siya from one flower to another flower, so, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating pollination. Okay, pollination takes place. Okay, so paano naman nakakatulong si flower kay bee? So, of course, the nectar or the nectar of the flower serve as the food for the bee. So makikita natin ang give and take relationship. So binibigyan ni flower ng pagkain si bee, samantalang si bee ay tumutulong to pollinate flowers. So sa pamagitan ng pollination, dumadami ang flowers. Okay, another examples ay ang aphids and ants. Ang aphids ay mga small insects na usually sila ay nakadikit sa mga halaman. So ang pagkain nila ay yung mga yung parang mga juice ng halaman. So, mahilig sila sa mga matatamis. So, ang mga langgam, alam naman natin that they like sweet also. So, ang mga waste product like pupo ng mga aphids, ayun ang pagkain ng mga langgam. So, kasi matamis nga 'yon. Kasi ang pagkain ng mga langgam ay ng mga aphids ay yung mga juice ng matatamis na halaman. So in return, so paano naman nakakatulong yung mga ants sa aphids? So pinoprotektahan naman nila ang mga aphids against their enemies. Okay, so kumbaga sila yung gwardiya para hindi atakihin ng mga enemies nila ang mga aphids. So it's a give and take relationship. Okay. So another example of relationships or interaction between organisms or living organisms in the ecosystem or environment is the commensalism relationship. So when we say commensalism relationship, so it is an interaction between organisms in which one is benefiting while the one never been affected, neither beneficially or harmfully. Okay. So ano naman tong commensalism? So ito naman daw ang interaction or relationship between organisms na kung saan ang isa ay nakikinabang sa relationship or sa interactions while ang isa ay hindi siya apektado. Wala lang sa kanya, wala siyang pake kung andyan man yung isang organism. So, pero yung isa nakikinabang, yung isa wa pake, ganon. So the best example is the relationship between orchids and the tree. The orchid is the only one being benefited from the tree. Okay. So yan, halimbawa, the orchids and the tree. So without the tree, ang orchid or ang orchids ay hindi mabubuhay kasi alam naman natin ang mga orchids ay nabubuhay yan kung nakadikit sila sa isang host or sa, for example, sa isang puno. Pero ang puno, hindi siya apektado. Andyan man yung orchids or wala man yung orchids, still nakaka-survive siya. So yun ang tinatawag nating commensalism. Isa ang nakikinabang, isa hindi siya apektado. The one is not affected. Okay. Yung ito naman, another one is the shark and the remora fish. Okay. So itong malaki is the shark, yung maliliit ang mga remora fish. Kaya hindi yan sila anak ng shark. Okay. So in what way na nakakatulong or sino nakikinabang sa relationship? Okay. So si remora fish. In what way? So si remora fish ay dumidikit sa katawan ng shark. So habang nakadikit yung mga remora, so kung saan lumalangoy, saan nakakarating si shark, andoon din ang mga remora. And paano sila nakikinabang kay shark? So sila yung kumakain ng mga tira-tira ni shark. So nakaka-joyride na sila, nakakakain pa sila. Pero si shark, hindi siya apektado. Andyan man ang mga remora or wala, buhay siya. Hindi siya apektado. Pero ang mga remora, so kumbaga thankful sila kay shark kasi sila ay nakakakain or nakakasama pa sila kung saan-saan nakakarating si shark. Yun ang tinatawag nating commensalism relationship. Isa ang nakikinabang, isa hindi apektado. Okay, next. Okay, interactions in the environment may also be harmful to an organism. For instance, a caterpillar benefits from a plant by consuming its leaf. In this case, the plant is harmed because the leaves are its primary parts of or for food making. Okay. So minsan ang relationship din minsan nakaka-harm din sa isang organism. For example, yung caterpillar. Siyempre, we know that caterpillar needs food in order to survive. So ang kanyang pagkain is yung mga leaves ng plant. So in that case daw, so plants is harmed because leaves are its primary part of food making. Okay. So next is the predation and parasitism. Okay. Are two types of interactions that may be harmful when not in proper control. Okay. In predation, the predator is an animal that is usually benefited by eating the prey, animal that is harmed. So unahin natin si predation. So ang predation daw and parasitism ay isang uri ng relationship na kung saan pwedeng maging harmful ito pag hindi siya na-control ng maayos. So in a predation relationship, may dalawang organism na involved, the predator and the prey. Ang predator is the animal that gets benefited in the relationship, while the prey is the animals or the organism being harmed in the relationship. Okay, so the number of predator is determined by the available prey in the area. So syempre, mas maraming prey, mas maraming predator. Okay. So in parasitism naman, so the parasites are the small organisms that live outside or inside the body of the host organism that is harmed. Okay. Sa parasitism naman, the two organisms that are involved are called the parasites and the prey. So pag sinabi nating parasites, so these are the organisms, usually small organisms, that live maybe outside or inside the body of the host. And the host is the organism that is being harmed in the parasitism relationship. Okay, balikan natin si predation. So when we say predation, may predator and prey. Si predator ang nangikinabang, si prey ang nahaharm. Or minsan nga pinapatay, kinakain. When we say parasitism naman, ang involved dyan ay parasites and host. So si parasites ay usually mga maliliit na organism sila na nakatira, pwede silang tumira outside or mayroon namang mga parasites that live inside the body of the organism that is being harmed na tinatawag nating host. Okay. So example, yan. These pictures show us the predation relationship. Okay. So halimbawa, yan, the deer and the lion. So the lion is the predator and the deer is the prey. Usually in a predation relationship, predator is bigger than the prey. But there are times na mas malaki ang prey. For example, mga snake, minsan mas malaki pa ang kanilang prey. Kaya nila yon kasi merong ang katawan nila ay pwede nilang i-expand. Okay, another example is the cat eating the rat. So the rat is the prey and the cat is the predator. Okay, so kailan nagiging harmful ang predation relationship? Of course, syempre, pag sobra-sobra na halimbawa yung mga predator, so hindi din naman maganda. Okay, so 'di ba? Mauubusan din naman sila ng prey. Dapat balance lang din. Okay? Next. So these pictures naman show us the parasitism relationship. Okay. So bakit kayo sa tingin ninyo na bakit kayo sa tingin natin kumakamot ang aso? Bakit siya nangangamot? Oh, because there is or there are parasites sa kanyang katawan. Okay. So yan ang tinatawag nating ectoparasites. Parasites that live outside the host body. Okay, kagaya mo ng kuto. Yan, garapata. So those are examples of ectoparasites. Parasites that live outside the host body. So ang nakikinabang diyan ay yung mga kuto. Ang apektado ay yung aso. Another example of parasitism relationship ay this one. So ito ang tinatawag naman nating endoparasite. When I say endoparasites, are parasites that live inside the host body. Kagaya halimbawa ng mga worm, ascaris, hookworm. Yan. Nakatira yan sila sometimes sa intestine ng tao. So, sila yung nakikinabang. So, ang mga bulate ang nakikinabang samantalang apektado ay yung host nila na pwedeng tao or pwede ring hayop. So, yun ang tinatawag nating parasitism relationship. Okay. Last one is the competition. Okay, competition is an interaction between organisms or species in which both the organisms or species are harmed. Limited supply of at least one resource, such as food, water, and territory used by both can be a factor. So, kailan nagkakaroon ng competition? So, when I say competition, compete. Okay, minsan nag-aaway dyan. So, bakit nagkakaroon ng competition? When the resources or the supply is limited. So, syempre, pag kulang ang pagkain, maraming nangangailangan ng pagkain, Maraming nangangailangan ng tubig, konti ang tubig, maliit lang ang lugar na pwedeng tirhan at maraming gustong tumira diyan sa lugar na 'yan. So there will be competition. So sa competition, ang sabi nga dito, matira ang matibay. So pag hindi ka matibay sa competition, so wala. Matatalo ka. Okay, so example, ito yung mga picture na to. So halimbawa, itong pagkain, yan. Itong dalawang animal. So mag-aaway muna sila before kung sinong manalo, sa kanya yung pagkain. Okay. Okay, so another example of competition ay itong mga plants sa isang paso. So tingnan naman natin, 'di ba? Oh, napaka daming halaman sa napakaliit na paso. So do you think kasya ang nutrients sa soil na makukuha nila? Okay, kaya kung mapapansin natin, may mga malalaking halaman, may mga maliliit na tubo ng halaman. Kasi nga, konti ang nutrients, maraming nangangailangan. So they compete sa nutrients from the soil. So yan ang tinatawag nating competition. So nagkakaroon lang ng competition if the resources needed by organisms in a particular ecosystem or environment is limited. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng competition. Pero kung sobra-sobra yan at konti lang ang mga organisms, ang dami-daming pagkain, ang dami-daming tubig, ang lawak-lawak ng territory. So walang mag-aaway diyan, walang competition between organisms. Okay? So those are the example of relationships that exist or interactions that exist in the ecosystem or environment. So we have mutualism, a give and take relationship. We have commensalism. So one is benefited while the other is not affected. We have predation. So one kills and eat the other organism. And parasitism. So one is benefited in the relationship, one while the other organism is harmed. And in the competition, sabi ko nga, ito ay matira ang matibay. So kung sino ang matapang, sino ang malakas, siya ang matitira sa tinatawag nating competition relationship. Okay. So, yun yun. So for your learning task or for your activity sa inyong module, so sagutan lang yan. So learning task 1. So fill in the table below. Choose the word from the box. So halimbawa, sa predation relationship ito. Predation relationship. So for example, predator. So saan dito ang pwedeng maging predator? Sino naman dito ang pwedeng prey? Pero tandaan natin that ang predator pwede rin siyang maging prey. Halimbawa, a frog is a predator to insects. So ang predator, frog and insects. So ang frog is the predator while the prey is the insects. Pero ang frog natin pwede rin siyang maging prey. For example, snake eating a frog. So the snake na ngayon ang predator, ang frog na ngayon ang prey. Okay, so hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon ang predator lang. So sometimes predator becomes prey. Okay? Next, for learning task 2, examine the pictures below, answer the guide questions in your notebook. Okay. So what is the type of interaction that exists between these organisms? So na-explain ko na yan kanina. So ang isang example ko dito kanina is a dog. Ngayon naman dito human. Head lice, yan, kuto sa ulo. Okay. So what interaction or what relationship exist between these organisms in the picture? What organisms are involved? So in the first picture, anong organism ang involved? Sa second picture, what organisms are involved? Which organisms benefited from the interaction? So sino dito nakikinabang sa picture A? Sa picture B, which organism is harmed from the interaction? So sino naman dito ang apektado sa picture A at saka sa picture B? Okay, next. Examine the pictures below. Tell the name of the organisms. Write the relationship that exists between each organism. Answer the guide questions below. So do not do this in your worksheet. So for example, dito sa picture natin, ano ang organisms dito? So ano ang kanilang relationship? Next, ito naman ay plants and sa sea ito, under the sea. Okay. Fish and plants. Okay. So anong relationship 'yon? Next, we have the orchids and the tree. Yan. Sinabi ko na ha. Okay. And we have worm and siguro may worm dito and bird. Okay. So, isulat natin dito ang mga organisms. When I say organisms, these are living things. Okay. Relationship, yun nga. We have the commensalism, we have the mutualism, we have the predation, we have the parasitism, and we have the competition. Okay. Yan, guide questions. Which of the pictures of organisms show beneficial interaction? So when we say beneficial interaction, maganda yung nagiging dulot ng interaction or ng relationship. When do we say that an interaction or relationship is beneficial? So kailan daw natin masasabi na ang relationship or interaction between organisms is beneficial or good? Number 3, which of the organisms are not benefited nor harmed? So saan naman daw doon ang mga organisms na hindi nakikinabang at hindi rin naman apektado? Hindi sila naka-harm, hindi rin sila nagbe-benefit. Okay? So next, learning task 4, write a 3-sentence reflection on the effect of environment in organisms. So write your answer in your notebook. So I understand that, blah, 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 blah. I realize that, blah, 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 blah. So hindi ko na ibibigay dito ang sagot, children, kasi para may ma-check ang inyong teacher at malaman niya na may natutunan kayo sa ating lessons. Okay? So that's all. So thank you for watching. And stay tuned lang kayo sa aking channel. So to help Sir Chris sa kanyang channel, i-subscribe nyo naman si Sir. Madali lang naman. So just click the subscribe button dun sa aking YouTube channel. Kasama na rin yung notification bell. At kung nagustuhan nyo yung video, or kung hindi man, so i-like nyo na lang, ha? Paki-like na lang ng video na to. So thank you very much and God bless. Keep safe everyone.